Welcome to the Redvee TV Show, supported by Chapel House Cars for the 2025 season as we look ahead to the round 26 trip to the Leigh Leopards this Friday evening. We're not going to have much other talk going on this evening because you've just watched us for 70 minutes last night and you don't want to suffer us for more than another 10.
Yeah, bonus 10 minutes this. I actually got told today by, or lauded for what we did last night, said it was good, but said they enjoyed the preview show. We've not done that yet. We've not done the squads. This is your bonus show.
Or was last
We can
night the
even go
bonus?
back.
That's the question. Do you know what?
Yeah,
Listen, some good comments last night. Um, some people have come on and said Matt Shaw's full of rubbish. Matt Shaw's just got a different opinion than you
yeah,
that you don't agree with. It doesn't mean he's talking rubbish. You just don't agree with his viewpoint. Um, you were just saying, Kev, that there was comments saying that it was the first time that we felt we hadn't sat on the fence all year. I would go back and watch us after Warrington away and a couple of other shocking performances this season. Again, we're not necessarily sat on the fence. We're just saying what we think at the time, and it might not necessarily agree with others. And I'll be honest, I've absolutely flip-flopped one way and the other this year. And at this moment in time, I could probably give you all three viewpoints of yes, you may as well give Wellham another year and see how it goes. Yes, nothing's going to change, get rid. Or yes, keep him because the whole club's rotten to the core and changing one man's not going to change things. I don't know the answer. I haven't got the answers. I will present viewpoints. Everyone in the comments and watching this is absolutely and always has been entitled to their own valid opinion.
yeah. I think as you've gone back and forward, I think that the one thing with that is you get more information and you change your opinion. I think people are surprised by that sometimes. Not everyone, but some people are surprised that you can change your opinion when you get more information. As it is, I still haven't seen enough after the Warrington game, and since I still haven't seen enough that would warrant a new deal.
You can
I think
also
I've been,
go on, sorry, you can also change your opinion when you think your previous one was wrong.
yeah, with mine. As I say, I think I've been pretty consistent. But I think one telling thing, and it's just popped into my head, we actually said we weren't going to keep going on about it.
Oh. But have the ability to listen to other people's point of view and
Yeah,
appreciate where they're coming from, and have the ability to not necessarily one way or the other stick your flag in the ground and die on the hill for it.
yeah,
But yes, go
absolutely.
back and watch the show with Matt Shaw. Probably one of our longest ever episodes discussing things, and that was because Matt Shaw wouldn't shut up.
Well, I think with regards to it, it's better letting him talk because if people do watch every week and like listen to what we've got to say, people know our viewpoints and they know where our viewpoints currently stand. With Matt, he's coming from a completely different point of view, and it's fine. I've seen that on over on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, people having discussion and they don't agree with him. Absolutely fine, not a problem. There shouldn't be a problem with having discourse like that and being able to say that you think that he's talking absolute claptrap, as long as you're doing it and coming up with reasons why. It's almost when you get people just we have to give reasons on here because we'd get pulled up otherwise. It's just when I think you're talking rubbish. Well, just expand on that. Give us something so we can at least talk about it. Whether it's us two on here, whether it's Matt's having a conversation with you on Twitter. But I've seen he's been quite busy today. It feels like he's had a proper had a proper debate with people.
Listen, it's probably quite topical at the moment, given what's happening out in the real world. Um, but whether you agree with a viewpoint or not, or you think it's the most horrid view that you've ever heard in your entire life, people are entitled to their opinions.
Yeah, absolutely right. You're entitled not to like it, but really, at the end of the day, just take a step back. If you don't like it that much and you're going to start getting um, in people's faces about it or whatever, just take the step back.
Yes. Right. Teams, Kevin. Let's just go straight into the teams. We can be done and dusted, and everybody can go and enjoy their night.
You say straight into the teams, but have we not just spent 5 minutes chatting about last night's?
Well, straight into teams now. Um,
Oh, okay.
Give us the squad news, Kevin.
Three changes as Leon Cowan, Jake Davis, and Cole Marsh drop out, with George Delaney back from his ban, Shane Wright in for his first call up to the 21 since his loan move from Salford, and John Bennison being recalled from his loan at Widnes.
So I'll ask the question straight away. Do you recall John Bennison from his loan at Widnes if you are not playing him this week?
I think there's got to be a big doubt over one of our backs, because otherwise, why don't you just leave Leon Cowan in there, who's been your 21st man for God knows how many weeks? I don't know who it, well, Kyle Felt was on the pictures, Jack Welsby was on the pictures. I can't remember who else, the ones that they put out the day before. I don't see why you'd recall him from Widnes, where he's getting game time, if he wasn't going to be very, very, very close, if not in this team. It just doesn't stand to sense.
Are we potentially at the point in the year where we cannot get a home game in the playoffs? We're going to be going to essentially Leigh or Leeds. Are we that are we that concerned about where we go? Is there that much of a difference between either of them?
No, because I think once you get into the playoffs, listen, on our day we can beat anyone. I mean, recent form says not one of three or four teams, but you wouldn't back against a performance more like the Leeds one at Headingley that we won 6-0. We have that backs to the wall, everyone scrambling in defence, and you nick it. That could happen. So I don't think it necessarily matters where you go. I mean, currently with us swapping and changing our spine so much, can you see our playoffs going past week one?
No, but if you are going to give yourself any sort of opportunity to do that, the way to do it is making sure that you have your best possible team on the field and they are in as peak condition as they possibly can be. So, listen, the majority are going to play this week because that's the 21-man squad. I'd be sending the reserves out against Cass last game and giving everybody a week off to get fresh.
I think you'd obviously kind of put some players through. I think you'd still put some players out against Cass because you want them rolling. So if
The
you'd be
one or two
putting,
are needy.
well, you have a look at, maybe we're talking about Cass here and the squad hasn't even been named, but if you're going to do that, you're probably looking at Batch, you're looking at James Bell, you're looking at Iggy Parsi, you're looking at Jake Burns, you're looking at Shane Wright, people like
Absolutely.
that, John
So the people,
Benson.
I was going to say, so like you play Darryl Clark this week, you don't play him next week.
Yeah,
And I think because of our backline already missing Lewis Murphy, um, and Owen Dagnall for the year, essentially, you can't risk Kyle Felt
next week.
next week.
Yeah.
So, or potentially, do you even risk him this week? Is that who Benson comes in for? I think it might be Mark Percival who misses out
Do you?
because Mark
Right.
Percival, you could wrap him in cotton wool until night one of the playoffs from now, and he'd
And
still
he
put
will
the
come off
performance in.
fresh. Yeah, yeah,
And I think he's critical. A fully fit Mark Percival is critical. Why risk him?
yeah. Fair enough. I, and I think we all want to see the best 17 take to the field, but unfortunately now, well, for all the years, first past the post hasn't been the way of determining your champion. Um, it is all on the three games that will end our season, or the potential three games that will end our season.
I thought it was crap when were able to win it from fifth. And if we were to do the same thing, I'd say exactly the same.
Yeah,
It's an awful system that Saints and whoever finishes sixth, Wakefield or Hull, are still 3 games from being champions. It's absolutely bonkers that that is even a possibility. But that's the system we're playing, and
yeah,
we need to try and maximise that now. What Wello has got to do this week is essentially decide on what his spine is going to be.
yeah. definitely. He's got to pick one and start sticking. And mind you, we're saying this and saying well, people are going to be left out against Cass, but you ideally want to see this is going to be the playoff spine. So wherever we go next, whether it's back to Leeds, whether it's off to Leeds, this is going to be the spine that we're going to go with at playoff.
That being said, then Jack Wellsby can't play at 13 this week, can he?
No, no, he's got to be, and I think he'll be better for it. I think he will be better because he'll have got some absolute big levels of fitness through playing 13 and through being involved and getting his hands on the ball quite a bit as well. I think he'll be miles better for it, but he needs to be at fullback or in the halves.
Okay. Where does he play for you?
Halves.
So who drops out?
Lomax.
Do you think Paul Wellens is able to do that at this point in the year? Oh, sorry, will he do that at this point in the year?
I have no idea. I'm. He's done it before and put Johnny on the bench. So it wouldn't surprise me. But if he does put Johnny on the bench, then it needs to be Johnny's coming on for, say, Moses, and Moses is doing a stint resting Darryl Clark rather than messing about with Tristan Saylor again. And you've got to leave Jack Wellsby to get game time. As I say, I probably would go. I think we have messed up by taking Tristan Saylor out to number one anyway. I go with Saylor at fullback, Wellsby at 6. I'm going to say Mbai at 7 just because he's got the kicking game, even though it's quite limited. Lomax bench.
Does it almost feel like we're now just picking names out of a hat?
Yeah. Yeah, because this is an opinion on what I would probably go with. I think people know how much I love Johnny Lomax, but as Matt was saying last night, they're very, very similar. Lomax and Bai, we stumbled across a functional halfback partnership. I mean, ideally, mate, ideally, we'd see George Whitby in. I don't think that many changes will be made, though. I think if I take back, kind of roll back on what I just said, I'd ideally see George Whitby at 7. But
Imagine if we hadn't done it all year and we just go into the first playoff game with Tristan Saylor at fullback, Wellsby and Whitby at 6 and 7.
yeah, it won't happen.
It won't happen. No.
But yeah, ideally, you want to see George Whitby getting a game, getting big games, letting him, if he makes mistakes, he makes mistakes, so be it. But I think what he will go with is, am I keeping you awake here? Sailor at 1, Wellsby at 6, and Bai at 7.
There's almost a little bit of apathy to it now where pick
Yeah.
whatever you like because the end result will probably be the same.
You know what? I think if we'd have had Morgan Knowles back for this, I'm not going to say I'd have been massively confident, but I thought, hang on a minute, we've probably got a bit more of a chance. It's just the issue with who does play 13 and having someone who can play that role, and that's where we're missing, obviously, Jake Wingfield as well. So I think Jake Wingfield is so unlucky getting a different injury. And I think he'd have been an absolute shoe. He'd have easily been above the likes of James Bell or Joe Batchelor or Curtis Sirenan for playing that 13 role.
Who
I almost
plays?
think if Noah had been fit, we'd have possibly gone with somebody like Matty Lees there as another prop.
Yeah, who plays there for you this week?
I don't know because I don't see James Bell as being kind of flavour of the month at the minute, whether he's still struggling with injury and all that. I just don't see him doing it. I'd potentially go with Batch, someone who's got a decent enough pair of hands on him. Yet he's not a 13 by trade, but someone who can get stuck in and do the hard work.
How about Shane Wright?
Not fit enough. Off the bench.
Nah, there's half our team.
Yeah, but off the bench. Who would you put in at 13? You don't know. You don't care. Go on, name someone. Go
If
on.
he's fit, James Bell.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I just don't think I don't think he's flavour of the month at the minute. I don't think he will be. I think he'll just end up going to Hull, and it'll be a quiet kind of departure for him.
Okay, Kev, League squad.
Yeah, Tessie New misses out, failed a HIA last week, and Joe Offa Hengawi comes in for him. Good question.
I just
I agree.
I don't see anything but a double-digit loss.
Okay, that's
I've just got a horrible feeling it's going to be like Leigh last season with it. Maybe not quite a Wonga Blake level of bad, but I almost feel like if Leigh get on top, they'll smash us. What I will say is, if Leigh get on top and smash us tomorrow, I don't think that has any bearing on how we will go in the playoff game if we were to play them.
fair enough.
A bit like when we
I
went to Warrington last year, Kevin. We absolutely remember before we were going to get smashed and we didn't. I know we got beat, but we didn't get
yeah,
smashed and we should have won. I
yeah.
almost feel it's going to be that sort of performance again.
Okay. Well, I'm just having a look through my tipping comp, and I've done Leigh by 14. Um, I just think at they've kind of almost somehow gone under the radar,
I think they were
and
still. I think because they were bad at well, seemingly bad at the start, right at the start of the year, weren't they?
yeah, but they've just pulled together a squad there and a team and a work ethic that just works for them. And yeah, they're missing some big names, like they're missing the fullback Armstrong. Yeah, they're missing Tessie New, but they've just like even losing the likes of John Asiata, it doesn't seem to have affected them.
They're like a Timu version of Hull KR.
I wouldn't. I think calling them a Timu version is probably a little
I wish
bit
we.
harsh.
I wish we were a Timu version of Hull KR.
I'd currently tech being a Timu version of pretty much anyone in the top.
Unfortunately, I think at this moment in time we are a vintage version.
Yeah,
But when you filter it with the well used ones that have got holes and stink.
the ba- the bargain bin. Yeah.
Yes. I've done Leigh by 18 tomorrow.
So we're not far off though.
And do you know what? We're going to get loads of abuse in our comments now saying you're meant to be supporters. No, yeah, we are. We want us to win. We'll be cheering us on. But there's also a level of realism.
Yeah, with fans like us, I
Who needs
mean,
enemies?
yeah, I've not dropped a ball yet for Saints, and I've not missed a tackle. But with fans like us turning up every week,
But
uh,
we had that on Facebook. I can't
yeah,
remember
that's
the
why I've
guy's
said
name.
it. That's why I've said it.
Yeah.
Maybe,
With fans like us, I'm like, what fans like us who've done this for 20 odd years,
yeah,
week in, week out. Well, we've done Redvee TV for 8 years, is it? Week in, week
yeah,
out,
yeah.
win, lose, draw. Doesn't matter if we get
This is,
battered, we still turn up and hang around to film and put it out for people to, well, say enjoy, but watch at least.
yeah, I'm fine. Listen, everyone's entitled to an opinion, as we say.
Yeah,
And we're entitled not to like it.
yeah. I should have been
But
doing that. Do you know what we should have done all year? Kept the mean tweets and just sat here reading them out. I might go
that's what we
back.
should do every year. Yeah, yeah, that's all we need to do. My only thing is that uh, I think he's going to be an older fellow who does it. I think he's got to be old who does it. I just wish he'd find another joke about the football teams from naming different ones around the northwest because it's not funny. It wasn't funny first time, and it still isn't funny. It might make him laugh, but I suppose there's not much you can do once you get to that age. Just make yourself laugh.
I tell you what, I'll finish this by saying, don't. I've been on some fishing expeditions with football tweets in the last couple of days. Oh,
I've seen him
biting left, right, and centre.
centre. Yeah,
That one. Anyway, entertain myself. Right. We'll see you tomorrow night after Leigh. Well, today if you're watching this Friday morning or even
yeah.
Friday afternoon. And if you're watching this Saturday, then you've well missed out. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. 3,500 subscribers, by the way. Bye.